So, like I was saying, guys, these 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2s off of the Rubicon JL model, they're really good tires, and they function pretty well in the snow and the foul weather. They're not bad off-road, but they're just not big enough. I had those 35s on here, should have kept them, because once you have 35s on one of these Jeeps, it looks so good, it's hard to go back to stock. So, ever since I got rid of those, I've missed them. One of those dumb things you do in life. So I'm going to have to shop for some more 35s for this thing. And I have a few ideas of what I might go with.
So I can't remember how I stumbled upon Discount Tire Direct. It was many years ago. I think it was probably through one of the Jeep forums or something. But anyhow, back in the early 2000s, I was a big fan of Tire Rack, and then in the late 2000s, I started buying Tread Right tires. You may have heard of Tread Right. They remold tires. They take used carcasses and remold them into new tires again. It's not really a retread in the traditional sense of a retread. It's kind of a remold. So they're pretty safe and everything. But the problem with Tire Rack is that their prices are too high, and traditionally they always charged for shipping also, which is kind of bullcrap. So I quit buying from them. And then with Tread Right, it just got to the point when they sold the company to the new owners and they moved it to Texas, it just got to the point where their prices were too high also. So nowadays you can buy a brand new set of tires for the same price as a basically used set of Tread Rights. So I started looking for another place to shop, and I stumbled upon Discount Tire Direct, and I've been buying from these guys for years now. Best customer service I've ever dealt with, and their prices are fantastic. Their selection is fantastic. So this is kind of my go-to, and if you haven't shopped, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I spend my own money on this stuff, but I really like these guys, and I can give them a shout out. So, if you haven't shopped here, you might want to check it out. Anyhow, I like to stick with 17-inch wheels on my Jeeps, and the reason why is because I like to have less weight, more sidewall for a better ride, better performance off-road. 17s are just the way to go. So I was browsing down through here, and the other thing about it is that I have a very specific criteria for sizing that I want. I like the 8.5-inch width. This particular wheel has an 18, positive 18 offset, and that is what I'm looking for, because the factory wheels are positive 44.45, really, really positive. So I like to stay positive just a little bit less, because this is going to push the wheel outbound a little bit. And then, of course, the wheel is also an inch wider. So you combine these two, and you end up pushing the wheel out a couple of inches, and that's all you need. If you start going with big time negative offsets, some of these wheels on here have like negative 22 millimeter offset. You start doing that, and you're looking for something that's going to look like a skateboard. You're going to have a lot of tread outside the fenders. It's going to throw stuff down your paint, and a lot of states it's illegal for good reason. So I try to avoid. There's a good example, the Level 8 Slam, which is a pretty good looking wheel, but look at the offset, negative 24. That's just crazy. So you're going to have half the tire sticking out, past the fender, and that's just way too much. But when I was looking down through here, I found a wheel called, I think it was made by Raceline. It's called the Clutch. There it is. And you can get this wheel in a matte dark gray finish. Now I think that the matte dark gray finish would look really cool on my Jeep, because it's got a lot of dark accents on it anyway. The door handles, the fenders, the trim, the mirrors, everything's kind of a dark accent anyhow. And so I think this gray on black would look really good on there. We give it a little bit of contrast instead of just doing the solid black. But I think it would still look really good. And the cool thing about this wheel is you can get it in a positive 18 offset, which is kind of hard to find. So 17 by 8.5 bolt pattern is what I need. 18 offset, perfect size. Unfortunately, they're out of stock. It says they're on order. and they're a little pricey at $226 each. But I'm going to wait probably another week or so anyhow, because they always do a big Black Friday sale. They might do 20% off, or who knows, from year to year it's always something different. But that's one of the options I was looking at. What do you guys think about that one? Or another option I found is that if you go over to Quadratec's website, they've got a wheel, the Tactic 742. Here it is. This wheel right here is similar to that one. It has the simulated bead lock on the outside. It's got the gray finish on the inside. It's a pretty decent looking wheel. See how it's kind of similar to that Raceline clutch. You still got the spoke pattern, same kind of color scheme and everything. The difference is this one is only $120, so it's $105 per wheel less expensive, which is a really big deal. And these are in stock. And these guys probably will also do a Black Friday sale, I'm sure, so I could get even more money off of this. So you're talking $400 or $500 savings on the set of wheels. So this is a definite option. Also, the only thing about it is these are 17 by 8.5, but it says they have a +6 offset, which is not quite as much as I wanted, but it's still not bad. At least it is a positive offset. I could live with that. It's effectively about a half of an inch farther outside the fender is what this would sit versus this Raceline clutch. About a half-inch difference, which isn't a big deal, especially when you're saving over $400 on the set. So that is an option also. I really like that wheel, and there's some guys on the Gladiator forum that have this wheel on their trucks, and it looked really, really good. So what do you guys think? Would you go with this and save all the money, or would you go with this one? I can't comment on the finish or the durability because I've never owned either one of these brands, so I don't know if one would last longer than the other, or if the finish would hold up very well in the wintertime. I'm planning on using these year round, and we do occasionally get some road salt and nasty stuff on the roads around here. So that's a consideration too, but I don't know anything about either of these brands. So if you know anything about Tactic or Raceline, post some comments below and let me know what you think. Now, as far as tires go, let me go over here and show you something. I noticed that the brand new Yokohama Geolandar MT is not offered in a 315/70, but it is offered in a 35/12/50, which of course is basically the same thing, and the pricing on them is not bad. I still love that Milestar Patagonia. Fantastic tire, especially for the money. But this tire right here really intrigued me. I almost bought some of these when they first came out. They're still relatively new. But this tire is just a really good looking tire. It's got some really nice specs on it. You can tell that Yokohama, if you watch their promotional videos and things, you can tell they spend a lot of time working on this tread pitch, tread pattern to make it kind of quiet on the road, even though it looks really aggressive. This tire is supposed to be really quiet on the road for what it is. It looks very similar to a traditional mud terrain. You've got tires like the Trail Grappler and what have you that have a similar type, traditional mud terrain pattern, which I really like. I like that squared off shoulder. The center tread's a little bit more tightly packed, and that's how you keep the noise down. But look how wide open that outer row of tread blocks is. I mean, that thing is just really going to bite and dig. So you kind of get the best of both worlds here, and they do have a little bit of siping here also. There's some stone and mud ejection bars. I mean, this is just a really cool tire. Got some nice specs on it, and the price is not that bad. $242 for a 35. It's not that bad. And again, these will probably be on sale next week too. So this is probably my #1 candidate. I've been really looking at these hard, and I know they're kind of new, so you guys probably don't have experience with them either. But if you have some experience with this tire, I would like to know about that too. I'm specifically interested in how quiet they are on the road and if they balance out well. I do a lot of highway driving, and I need a tire that balances out well and rides smooth. I don't want something that's going to shake the truck to pieces. And that was a really cool thing about that Milestar Patagonia, is that even at that low price point, that was an excellent tire. That thing balanced out really nice, rode really nice, was smooth at any speed. I never had any trouble out of those at all. And so that's probably my #2 go-to, is to to maybe go back to a set of those again. I mean, the price is still hard to beat on those. And, right now they're at $224 a tire. Still hard to beat that price. And they're a D-rated tire. See that? 8-ply rated, which in my experience made them ride a little bit better. I mean, I aired these down to about 30 psi, and they had a great ride. So those are kind of the two tires I'm looking at, maybe wrapping around these wheels. And, there's some other things I'm considering too, but these are the two big ones. So anyhow, just going through here, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And as soon as those Black Friday sales hit, I'm probably going to jump on something here. So post some comments below. Let me know what you think. Or if you'd like to see me go a different direction, curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. So I'm going to jump off here now, but we will talk to you later. I'm going to do some more shopping and browsing through here. Thanks for watching.